Hello, this is Jim Durkin, and welcome to today's webinar on opportunity enhancements in the Impact Suite. What you're looking at right now is Impact installed in Active version 16, and you're going to see a couple of enhancements in our tool, one being the navigation bar on the left. Another enhancement is being able to display the opportunity information above the line, and what we mean by that is on this activities window here, on this tab window here, that we have the opportunities, activities. This is specifically for this contact. But if we go to the opportunities, we see the opportunities here. Well, this is the same information that we're displaying up here. As I navigate back and forth to different ones, we can see I don't have any opportunity information underneath this tab. And if I navigate to Chris Hoffman, I get to display it up here. So that's actually one great enhancement here, that users don't have to go to their tabs to hunt down which opportunities are attached to the current contact. So again, that's just this opportunity section. But let's go into the opportunity list view. Okay, here we are in the opportunity list view, or the opportunity section in ACT, and let's go to the list view. Here we're displaying 379 opportunities on our list view. One of the things that we do differently on all of our lists is we display the filtering panels at the bottom. So as you can see, I can quickly go and say, I want to see everything for today, or all dates, or I want to see just where the competitor is a subset, where a stage is specifically needs assessment. And record managers. I can turn off record managers independently, but if I right-click on here, I have a quicker way to say, well, let's just say select none, and I just want to see just Chris. And I can turn Chris off, and I want to see Allison's. So that quickly, I've been setting up my filters. I can go back to select all, but if you have teams, I can say, hey, I want to see all the opportunities by team sales. And here's all of our opportunities. Now over here on the right-hand side, we have the total column. You can see we're displaying the total, 2,325,000. So let me see how Team Sales is doing against Team Europe. Now, Team Europe has 1.3 million in sales. So what you realize here is we get a lot of data mining out of our list views. It's not just a jumping off point to get to the specifics of an opportunity. It's a way to analyze some of your data. And in fact, some of our tools here, we can analyze it further. Say we wanted to group by all the stages. Let's get subsets in here. If I go into my headers panel here, I'm going to turn on grouping. That displays this blue row at the top. Now grouping, I could take any column and drag it there. So I'm just going to take the stage column, holding my mouse down, and I'm going to drag it into my grouping area. And now I just grouped by the stage. So I can see my commitment to buy. I have 262,000 in that stage. I have 303,000 in the initial communication. So again, what we're doing is, some nice data mining here. I can expand these and go in and see each one of them, see which ones are in the presentation stage. Now let's just take this a step further. It's nice to be able to break down it by status, but what if we wanted to break it down by the contacts information, the contacts that's attached to this? Well, the first thing we want to do is we want to go to the columns button here, and I want to say I want to see information not just from the opportunity table, but also from the clients table, clients and or contacts, same thing in our Impact Suite. So I want to go to the city. Let me add the city on here, and I can add any field from the contact table, custom fields that you added, zones, geographic regions. Again, I'm just selecting city. I'm going to say OK to that. And now I have a new column, city, and as you can see, I'm pulling that information. So I can now say, hey, I want to sort, double click. I can say I want to sort by my city. So now I am sorted by the city, but again, let's take this city column and let's jump it up into here. So, well, this first one is none. No cities. Information is available for that contact. But I could say, hey, in Dallas, I have 49,000 in opportunities sitting in the city of Dallas, and they're expanding are those 4. So again, data mining right here on this opportunity view, just think of how many reports you would have needed to run in order to get this type of information. Let's take this one step further. Say we wanted to view all the information by the activities that are attached. I have 400 or so opportunities, but I want to see which opportunity has an activity that I need to address first. So if I go into the columns here, I'm going to remove city. I could have left it there, but just simplifying our demo. And instead of saying clients, I'm going to go into activities, and I'm going to say activity date. So I say activity date, I hit save here, and it's going to refresh the list. Now I have the date column over here, and I scroll down here. Oh, there are some. Okay, there we go. So at the bottom, we have 4 activities that, we have 4 opportunities that have activities attached to them, and now the date is appearing. So I can sort by the date of the activity attached to the opportunity. So everything that needs to be done first would be at the top of my list, and I would know what I need to address when I came in the office the first thing in the morning. All right, well, let's go into the details view, because we do have Ryan Hunter sitting on the sideline here waiting to come in here. And I'm going to introduce him in about 30 seconds and show him, and I'll tell you what he's going to show. One of the things in the opportunity details section is we have the ability to edit the product line item. So these are your products that are attached to this opportunity, and we can go in here and edit one of them. And Ryan's going to show some of the work and some of the ways you can change this data enter screen. All right, let me get Ryan along here. So Ryan is make Ryan the presenter. All right, Ryan, presenter is coming over to you now. Ryan, can you hear us now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Everybody else out there can hear? Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, we have people that can hear you. Okay, so Ryan, that was my introduction to you, kind of a bad handoff here, but we are seeing your screen on the presentation now. So what I was saying and what you were listening as I was bringing the introduction to you about the opportunities and about the opportunity line items. So you want to just show us some of the work you were doing with that?
Sure, okay. As Jim said, my name is Ryan Hunter. I work with Jim a lot. I'm calling him almost every day at this point. For this one particular client of ours, they do a lot of work with like duct cleaning, carpeting, hardwood floors, and they planned on using the opportunities for work orders so they could do their billing as well as their commissions. So I'm going to show you some of the work that I did with that. So let's swap over to the opportunity view. And this is just an example of one that I was playing with. So under products and services, with the Impact Suite and the bundle feature, we can design our bundles. Like in this case, I have this test one I made up. This was particularly useful for them because their work order forms list approximately 12 different products. This is just kind of an example subset, but they needed to be able to jump in and throw in about 12 different products onto a work order at one time. So being able to design these bundles allowed them to do precisely that. So let's go ahead and add this bundle. And you see it popped in all of the extra products down here. So I'm just going to go ahead and open one up here. So we have the default screen in here. And one of the things that they need to calculate with these products is they want to be able to do a commission. So I'm going to try and quickly show you how to do that. So we pop into the design screen. Give it a sec to come up. There we go. All right, so I'll just move these out of the way, and I'll drag this down a little bit. And we can add in a new field. Let's make it a currency field. And we'll call it commission. so we got this commission field coming onto the form. Now we need it to calculate what its value is based off of whatever the total for this product is. And as soon as this window closes, I'll hop into the math interface.
Here, Brian, because what it's doing right now, of course, is it's updating the ACT database schema. So just by the action of you dragging onto the form, it's now going into the database structure and locking the database down, adding that additional new field. So that's what those couple seconds pause is there.
Yeah, good point, Jim. All right, thank you. So when you click on math, it opens up this, and you have your default math functions already brought in, calculating your adjusted price, discount, the subtotal, etc. But we need a new one to handle the commission. So we're going to hit New. All right, I'm just going to call it commission, something clever like that. And I'm going to have it run on form open just to make sure it stays up to date, and I'll have it form closing for the same. And we're going to want the end result showing up in commission. So what I'm basically going to do, just for a simple example, is we'll say the commission is 5% of the subtotal. So to get at the subtotal field, we go into Opportunity, scroll down till we get to my mistake, sorry. It's actually Opportunity Product, and then you get the subtotal. Double-click to pull that in. Then we can add a multiply, and we'll just type in 10%. Run a test to make sure it doesn't find any problems. No errors, good. And we'll save that. Save the form and close it. And now, in theory, whenever we update information on this form, it should also drop a number in the commission field. So let's save and close that and open it back up. Make sure it actually triggers. There we go. Okay. So drop the commission in. We can hit OK on that. And if you open up another one, you can also just hit this math button here to make sure all your math formulas run. And that should update the commission. There we go. All right, we hit OK. So we come back to this screen, and we got all our products punched in. We got a commission added in. I'm not showing it on the screen, but let me go ahead and add that in just for display's sake. So we got all that. But a second function that our client needed to do was they needed to be able to calculate the tax. And they do business in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, and New Jersey. And as you may be aware, the tax rates differ across those states, but also Philadelphia has its own little extra tax. So we needed to calculate the tax based on the state as well as the city that the client was residing in. So let's take, as an example, for this one, Ethan Campbell. Ethan Campbell, if I recall correctly, we've got him punched in as, right, New Jersey. So if we pop back to the opportunity, the tax rate in New Jersey is 7%. So in order to make it calculate the tax on the fly, I actually had to do two things. Firstly, I had to add these three custom fields onto the opportunity. The subtotal, the tax amount, and then the total with tax. So adding custom fields is pretty straightforward in a native ACT feature. You can just go into the define fields to do that. I won't bother showing you that right now. So what the Impact Suite lets you do is if you go into Tools, Impact Suite, and then you switch over to Math, and you make sure you're looking at the Opportunity Math functions, you can see I've already got two here. So let's go ahead and open up the tax amount one. Don't worry about the complexity of this one right now. The feature we're most worried about is this one right here. Based on the contact which is attached to this opportunity, we extract the state and we also extract the city. And then we just have some logic in here that checks the state and the city, and based on whichever one it is, it applies a tax rate. and then down here it calculates what the actual tax amount is based on the total prior to tax, and up here it dumps it into the tax amount field. So I can save that. And this math function just adds the contents of the subtotal plus the tax amount into a new total field. So when we do our reporting and we display it on the screen and that like, we'll be using the total with tax field instead of the native opportunity total field. So we'll go ahead and hit OK on that. And it's set up so that whenever you navigate to this opportunity, it's supposed to calculate what the actual tax amount is based on the total of your products, puts it all in a subtotal, and then puts in the tax amount, totals it up. And that's pretty much what we had to deal with this client. Do you want me to cover anything else, Jim?
No, that's good at the moment. What I wanted to do is give the attendees here a real-world view of what people are doing with it, and I think that's amazing what you've done with it. I mean, when we designed the product, we designed math functions in it knowing that it has a large base of what can be done with it. What you guys over at Comptu-Tutor have done is, set up a client where it's a blend of an accounting system and an act. So they can be very specific and generate true invoices now with tax formulas in it, where they would have to have QuickBooks installed or something to do that prior to Impact. So that's why I just want to show them, and that's perfect. A couple of the questions that we had came along. I've been answering some of them online. So if anybody has any questions right now, please post them online. I'll try to get to them in the next couple of minutes. But what we wanted to do is really wrap this up. What, again, we wanted to explain to you is that with Impact Suite, with its math functions, with its advanced list views, there's a lot of data mining and a lot of data manipulation that can happen to the end users. Not all of it is going to be straight out of the box. As Ryan was saying, some of those needed more time because you had to say state equals New Jersey, city equals Philadelphia for all those permutations. But a lot of them, like I was showing, just being able to drag headers around and group and sort by the state field or the zip code field is embedded right into the project, right into the product. Okay, a couple of questions was what was he programming in? That it was in a VB. So it's .NET VB is when you're writing your math functions. VB, of course, is Microsoft's language, .NET. There's a billion pages out there from all the developers how to write VB code. It's pretty straightforward. 1 + 1 = 2. Things like that. More complex things, either consultants like Ryan can help you out on it. You can post things on our forum or send our support questions directly. What we'll be doing after the presentation, I will send you Ryan's contact information and my contact information, so if you do have any specific questions. Okay, some of the questions that are coming in are specific to unique situations, which I'm going to take offline rather than trying to encompass them in a global webinar, but we'll take those ones offline. And that is it. I want to thank everybody for coming. Again, I want to thank Ryan Hunter Comptu-Tutor for showing us what he was doing with the product. We will be posting this webinar online in the next day. It'll be posted up there, and again, we will send you contact information if you have any follow-up questions. Okay, thank you, Ryan, for showing us, and thank you, everybody, for attending.